I am DYANAROZAY, and I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. If you are not a subscriber, please become one. Hit that notification bell too, that way you don't miss any of my videos. I go by DYANAROZAY on all platforms, and I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. What's up, everyone? What's up, Supreme Team? Welcome to the channel. Come on in, come on in, come on in, you guys. We are here to talk about the season 9 finale of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Oh my goodness, you guys, come on in. We got a lot to talk about, okay? If you can hear the sound of my voice, though, I want to make sure you can all hear me. First off, let me say thank you to all of my new subscribers. Let's say that first. I appreciate the support. If you are not a subscriber, please become one. Okay, let's say that. But I need for everybody to hit that like button, share the video. Okay, hit the like button, share the video right now. There's 120 of you here. And then also drop your city and state so I can give you guys city, state, country, island, wherever you are from, so I can give you guys a shout out, okay? Come on in. Welcome to all of my moderators first. Let me say hello to everybody. What's up, Lady D Key? How are you? What's up, Linda Gamble? How are you? Listen, anyone that you see with a purple wrench behind their name, what's up, Clone in the House? Clone in the House is my real sister. We got the same mama, same daddy. Anybody that you see with a purple wrench behind their name, they're here to make sure you guys have a good time in the chat. So I always want to shout them out and let them know I am grateful for them coming over. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Cheryl the Pearl? What's up, Cookie from the Shy? Hey, hey, hey. Come on in. Let's make sure I got everybody. Thank you, guys. And then I'm shouting out everybody who came in, if you're shouting out your city and state, okay? Or wherever you're from. I see Columbia, South Carolina is in the house. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see, Chicago, we got Texas, Chicago, Columbus, Oklahoma City, Brooklyn, what's up? Cleveland, what's up? Hey, everybody, Austin, Texas, Barbados, what's up? St. Louis, what's up? I love to see where you guys are coming from. What's up, Macomb, Georgia? Delaware, Chicago, West Palm Beach, come on in. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's up, Jacksonville, New York City? Listen, y'all, we had an interesting damn show last night, child. I'm going to also drop the link if you guys wanted to come up and talk about it as well after I get finished with my review. But it was an interesting show. I do still think that this season was probably one of the best that we have had in a little while. Definitely a lot of feathers ruffled, okay? Come on in. Okay, so listen, let me put myself on camera because y'all know I said I was going to keep myself on camera this year. Woo! Get myself together, child. I got on my pig shirt. Here we go. Because it does not matter what. You put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig. This is my shout out to Peppa. Peppa Pig. Okay, come on in. Hold on, child. I see somebody saying icing out melody, child. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I got my notes. I got my black phone and my notes. We're going to get to it. Listen. Woo. We can see some of these shenanigans. We can see all the stuff going on. Yes, this is my Peppa Pig shirt. I would love a bacon sandwich. I ain't going to lie, but I am fasting. Nothing today except for water. Come on in, everybody. 269 of you are here. I appreciate that. Whew. Let's see. He does not know. Did you guys take the poll right above the chat? Take that poll too, okay? Because we're going to talk about it. He does not know, but he need to. No need to lie. No need to lie. So you're saying that you are on Ken's side, it sounds like. So a lot of people thought that Ken and Trish were in a fake relationship. It looks like it is a very real relationship. I believe that Mr. Woot Woot has confirmed that it's a real relationship, even though people at the beginning didn't know how to take it. Trisha's a lot more comfortable on camera. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. Come on in, everybody. Trisha's a lot more comfortable on camera. She getting that shit out there. Okay. What's up, Francois? Nice to see you. I appreciate you coming in to hang out with me, y'all. Come through, everybody. Thank you. This is my Lady Sings the Blues hat. Okay. Y'all, I was effing shocked. Did y'all hear Melody call Trisha a bitch at the beginning of this? Maybe it was at the end, but they played it again. Woo. She was cussing. It was about Martell. I slowed that shit down so I could read lips. Y'all know I read lips over here. You still couldn't understand what she was saying. Well, I'm about to get to it. I initially thought that Ken and Trish were fake, but after yesterday's episode, you know that they are real. Yeah, that's not a fake relationship. Sometimes, we don't give this show enough credit sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But they did give us a real moment. Come on in. Anyway, I love to see you guys come in. Look, I got Mary Willis up here with the Hey Linda Gamble child. I forgot to take you down. Take the poll. Let me actually read it. So the poll at the top, 240 of you have voted. Hold on one second. One second. Let me make sure that y'all, let me see how many likes I got. Y'all know how we're supposed to do it, right? I need at least half the likes. Half of y'all in the chat need to give me the same amount of likes. So 348 of you are in the chat. I need now it's 371. I need 160 likes right now, at least half. So we got about 20 more likes. Y'all got to get me up. Get me up. Okay. That happened fast. Okay. So listen, the poll question is, do you agree with Ken's demand to know Trisha's history with Martell? The responses is 63% of you right now are saying, yes, he has a right to know. 23% of you said no, it was before him and he needs to move on. And then 13% of y'all was watching eggs boil. Y'all kill me. Oh my gosh. I know I gave it to y'all as an option, but it still makes me laugh when I see it. Okay, so y'all can see the actual poll on the side, right? Okay, so listen, we're about to get into it. 391 of you are here. I appreciate that. Why do you think the scene is fake? I thought it was real. Yeah, that was a real scene. I don't think anybody want to play themselves like that. You know what I'm saying? Not that they play themselves. Let me also just give this disclaimer. I know sometimes the people on these shows, they watch us, they watch the bloggers, they try to get our take on things, how they came across. They listen to you guys in the chat or in the comment section. Please, this is like, seriously, we're talking about it, but it's entertainment. It is not meant to hurt anybody's feelings, even though sometimes it can. We are simply just, for us, we're talking about a show. For the people that are actually living it or experiencing it, I hope that you understand that there is a really big separation from what I do, from what the people in the chat do, and what you guys do. Do not take what we say to heart, because we don't have the full picture. This is an edited show. I know this. A lot of people in the chat know this. So outside of that, I just hope people can take this with a grain of salt and not take it too personally, because damn, sometimes stuff, sometimes people be getting really offended, and you don't have to. If Ken is going to hang around Martell, then he needs to know. Okay. All right. So yeah, people are mostly saying that they think Trish needs to tell. That is something that Ken said up front when all of it came out that first time around. He sat down with her. He said, "Listen, don't put me in a situation where all of these people know our business and I am, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how to protect myself. I don't know how to protect you. I can't protect our house." So he asked to know the details. He said, even if it did happen before you, before he got there, right? What's up, Chronic? If it was nothing, then just talk about it. Okay. A lot of people are saying that they are on Ken's side, that they feel like that he needs to tell. Okay. Sometimes you're too much team the show, Diana, but I understand you want to separate yourself from the other content creators. Well, to be honest, Layla, I appreciate you coming through. I have no choice but to be team the show, because the truth of the matter is we don't know all the details. I had so many people personally attack me just a few days ago, saying Melody did not agree to be at that wedding with Martell. Melody did not agree to be at the reception. Turns out Melody agreed to both. They showed it. She was there the whole time until Martell sat at her table. So there's things that we don't know. And all I ask is that we, keep an open mind with the fact that they tape hundreds of hours worth of this show every season, and they give us less than 40 minutes an episode. Hundreds of hours reduced to a 2-3 minute scene. You know what I'm saying? So we got to keep that in mind. We're not, I know that we know this when we're watching every other show except for this one. That's what makes it, it makes it weird sometimes. But I also, my perspective is just that. It's my perspective. It's based on what I know to be true, my experiences, and everybody else's should be theirs. There's a lot of people that repeat the same things on the channels repeat the exact same thing. They call people the exact same names, all of that stuff. I really do try to separate myself from that. Okay. Anyway, let's get to it. Okay. So the scene, let me put this back up. Should I leave this up or no? I'll take it down. So the scene opens up with Mel and Trish. It picks up exactly where it left off. Okay. It picks up exactly where it left off. And Melody and Trisha are talking about it looks like the relationship between Trish and Martell. Whether people were able to see that or not, I had to rewind that scene at least 4 times. But you hear Melody say, first Trisha says that they are wasting energy and breath. They are wasting energy and breath. And Mel says, I'm not wasting energy on no bitch. I'm not wasting energy on no bitch. Trisha responds back, I'll be that bitch, and I'm a good one though. Okay. Then Melody basically says something like, nobody gives a fuck if y'all was fucking da. So she is literally saying to Trisha, I know that you were sleeping with my ex-husband. They are having that conversation. And that's when Destiny throws her hands up and was like, okay, y'all, we going too far. This is about Nell Fletcher. You know what I'm saying? But Melody and Trisha do get into a back and forth about Trisha sleeping with Martell. That is what that little scene was going into this first part of the episode. So at the end, she said, I don't give a F who fuck who. It don't matter. This is how Melody's saying. They bleeped every one of those words, child. But for everybody who was sitting there saying, Mel don't care, just so you know, she got it out. And I told y'all 1,001 times, Destiny, who was once this woman's friend, who sat at her table, ate her food, she helped her with her child, paid money, gave her money for her legal bills. She ain't never had that conversation. She ain't never had that conversation with Destiny. She had no problem having that conversation with Trisha, though. Okay. And she was dressed to impress. Okay. Had her little phone in her hand. You know what I'm saying? Told her basically, if you want to go, we can go. But bitch, don't play with me. That's what real arguing looks like. Okay. So you ain't never going to convince me the other way. Because Melody had it once that story came out, and I already played the audio for y'all, where Melody said, I don't believe that Destiny and Martell slept together. Even if she said it at the beginning of season 8, she had already came out and said that she didn't do it. And this was after a blogger said they had sent Melody the information about text between her and Martell. She still did not say that. And she still hasn't, even in the scene, because I would have been like, listen, bitch, you and Destiny. She didn't say that at all. Destiny and Melody sitting at that table when they were on the girls' trip in St. Thomas, and Destiny making those accusations toward Melody, saying that you was trying to help that girl respectfully cheat and everything. When Destiny mouthed, I'm sorry, with tears in her eyes, you know what that would make a person do if you thought all that shit about her and your ex? You would fight. You would fight. That is a play in my face moment. Okay. So some of this stuff, like I said, I get other content creators and I have nothing. I'm not saying anything bad about them. They have every right to share their perspective and opinion, and I have every right to share mine. I do believe that Melody will never be Trisha's friend. I think her problem with Trisha is don't play in my damn face. Okay. Pretty similar to what Ken had to say. And she feels like at the end of the day, if somebody got a right to be mad, it's me. Even if she left that relationship, she doesn't like the idea. And I think a lot of people will feel this way, not just Mel and Trish. I think most women don't like those kind of relationships with people they know was doing something with they ex, or when they were married, or whatever the case may be. We just ain't gonna be friends. And that is what it is. But that's how that little part of that scene happened at the beginning, okay? Then we have Sonny walk in the door. Now, Melody is so into ignoring everybody after her and Trisha have this exchange. She's ignoring everybody to the point of where she is in her phone. She does not feel the energy change when Sonny comes in the door. Sonny sits right beside her, like ass on the couch, and had to like tap her like, hey girl, what's going on? And when she looked up, she went, oh, hey, Sonny. That is how annoyed she is with everybody. She refused to look at anything. Okay. But Sonny catches her attention. She makes her look at her. She says hi. Sonny says something in confessional, like she could tell there's tension in the room. Well, girl, I bet you could. I mean, you went and sat beside Melody and Melody didn't even look up. So that was hilarious to me. But Melody is in a zone, and then her and Sonny go sit at the bar away from the group. Okay. She sits at the bar away from the group. In the meantime, we get Nell Fletcher. She finally arrives, her and her daughters. And Melody said, this is my time. I'm out. Okay. Melody goes over, said, let me hug Nell before y'all even get started. I'm going to hug you, girl. I'll be there tomorrow, but I got to go. And she's out the door immediately. Okay. Sonny did not go with her. She decided to stay. And that was another thing that I was like, well, Sonny, really, you probably would have wanted to exit. I understand why she didn't, though. I understand why she didn't. But this wasn't the old school where Destiny used to be like, if Mel going, I'm going. Sonny stayed. Okay. They started painting shit onto the models, the body stuff. And Nell Fletcher decides to make a joke and said, because I think Nell Fletcher is painting a snake on the male model's body. So they're half nude or whatever. She's painting a snake, and she makes a joke about Sonny and Destiny sharing Moses' snake. Okay. I thought that shit was funny too. But everybody caught it. Destiny is cracking up. Sonny feels away. She says something like, I ain't sharing nobody's snake. That's mine. I ain't sharing nothing. You know what I'm saying? But it's leaving yourself open to a lot of stuff that you probably, you don't want, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, we get Tisha. Sunny's kind of sitting there by herself, but Tisha comes over and she's trying to talk to Sunny. Destiny walks in between Tisha and Sunny, and she gives Tisha a look like, bitch, come on, you ain't gotta, talk to her. Tisha says something like, get out the middle, bitch. You know what I'm saying? This is what friends do when you trying to be funny and do little things, right? Sunny catches it. Sunny makes a comment. Oh, she don't want you talking to me. And Sunny tries to loud whisper, if Destiny's really your friend, you need to tap her on the shoulder and let her know to stop talking about me on her show every week. And ever since she came back, I'm all her conversation or whatever. Unfortunately, it turns into a little bloodbath between Destiny and Sunny now, okay? 719 of y'all watching. Hey, Kimber, thank you. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. But anyway, Destiny catches it and she's like, bitch, you ain't got to talk about me while I'm standing over here. You got something to say, you can say it right to my face. And Destiny basically says to her, at the end of the day, you brought your man, someone I used to have history with, into my space. You bring him on, came onto my platform. You're in my friendship group and you don't think I'm supposed to have anything to say? Not going to happen ever. She said, at the end of the day, don't come up here. I'm laughing. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the comments. There's a lot of people upset with Nell Fletcher. Listen, y'all would hate my family because that is the exact shit that would happen in my family. You come into a space like that and people know stuff like that about you, they are going to talk about you in your face. They're going to make jokes. It's just the shit that happens with Black people in particular. I don't even know anybody who doesn't do it, but I am crying at these comments. I got to stop looking. My bad. Anyway, this scene between Destiny and Sunny is heavily edited, and you can tell because everybody's face, all of their expressions is giving goddamn, like the models are looking like, oh my God, what's going on? Nell Fletcher, the rest of the cast. Sunny is stunned. She's kind of just looking at Destiny like, what the bullshit? What are you guys doing? Destiny basically says to Sunny, you are a hot ass mess. She says to her, you lied about me in this paternity test with my son. She said that whole shit you did where you were talking about who's the father and that 3 men had to take the test. Now, I showed y'all this for anybody who may have missed it, child. Hold on. I showed y'all this when Sunny had put this out. Right after Sunny put this out on her IG page, Sunny stopped going live on her IG page and she ended up going live on the Sunny and Moses page. She said that she had lost her rights on her regular page. It might have been due to this. I'm not sure, but she couldn't go live for, she said 3 months is what she said. So don't know. But anyway, she ended up making a post. Here it is, where she said, when you play stupid games, you win dumb prizes. And she added Destiny. So she wanted her to know, I'm talking about you, Heffa, right? And then she said, I'm your storyline. What else do you have going on? I'll wait. That's when all these stories started coming out that Moses and Martell, again, Melody's not sitting any place with Destiny if she believed any of that shit to be true. But she said that Moses and Martell had to do a paternity test, or at least that's how all these rumors started going around. Even though we know the first person who's going to test is going to be Destiny's ex-husband. Nobody has to test after that. That child looks just like him. Oh my God. But this went around and is still going around right now. Destiny said at the end of the day, she prays that she can have a child. She said, I pray that Sunny can have a child so that she will know what it's like, okay, to want to protect your children. She said, because that is the only reason she's not dog walking Sunny's ass, okay? And then she blamed Sunny for Moses being in jail. She said, you needed to be paying more attention to Moses because he wouldn't be in jail right now if he did. She was clapping on her and all kinds of shit. I'ma say what I want to say. all of the stuff. Now, Sunny wasn't coming back at her hard at all. Destiny ends up walking out of this facility. According to Nell Fletcher's daughter, or play daughter, she said that Destiny ate Sunny up. They aren't showing us everything that happened in this scene, but it did get a little, crazy. You can tell. At the end of the day, Destiny just said, Destiny. Sunny said, stop talking about me on your platform. And Destiny says she'll talk about what she wants to talk about and threw some other shit at her. We'll see what happens next, child. But it was pretty bad, in my opinion. I don't know. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that Sunny had a right to say that Destiny had 3 pregnancy tests? I know a lot of y'all do because you don't like Destiny, but I think that was pretty bad. Destiny is the one who snitched on Moses, in my opinion. You think so? I don't know if that's true. There was a couple of violations that Moses had. That wasn't the only one. A lot of you are saying, yeah, that you agree. Well, you know what? It is what it is. I was always told that when you are trying to have a baby, you aren't supposed to be talking about anybody else's baby because it could be real bad shit on you. Okay? And when she did say that stuff about her having a baby of her own, when you're lucky enough to have a baby, I think that was a hard punch. But whatever. All right, we're moving on. We're getting to the vow renewal. Vow renewal. Okay, now everybody is. It's the big day for Nell Fletcher. Nell and Chris Fletcher. They are renewing their vows. 30 years married. Nell apparently fell down and tore her ankle up. It's all swollen. So she can barely walk. She needs help getting up the stairs. She needs help walking in heels. She needs help throughout the whole thing. She ends up calling Chris and saying, I need you to bring me an ice pack or something. But she is in her dressing room. All of her children are coming in and, keeping her company. They're gossiping, getting their makeup done, getting their hair done. They have real photographers, real videographers there. So there's a whole lot happening, but it was a real moment. And I really like to see the family component of all of this. But they're talking about the event. Nothing really big is happening. The only thing that comes out in this scene is that Nell Fletcher makes it a point of telling her son Lance to make sure Melody and Martell are separated. She said, I need them up front, but I need both of them to be on opposite sides of the room, basically. Lance says, I got Martell. I do not have Melody. So I don't know who you want to assign to her, but I don't have anything to do with her. I will make sure that Martell is on the other side of the room, though. And that was how it all ended for that. Now we are at the wedding. The guests are arriving, you guys. Guests are arriving. Martell comes in after Scott 2.0, Kimmy and Maurice. And he goes over, he sits down with them, okay? They're talking, trying to catch up on things. They talk about the bachelor party. The bachelor party we did not get to see. They show us a snippet. It looks like there is ass everywhere. I'm not going to lie. Chris is sitting in a chair just like, where am I? Okay. But some lady was giving him everything she had, child, letting them know where babies come from. It looked like Lance was over there throwing money on people. It was nasty. It's what it looked like. They had themselves a nasty little bachelor party. But Kimmy said the bachelorette party was not the same. She said, we did what we usually do, which is fight. Okay. And they were like, well, what happened? You didn't have any fun? She said there was some fun moments, but for the most part, we did what we always do. And then she said, Melody and Trisha got into it. And then she said, and Destiny and Sunny got into it. Now, this makes Martell's ears like perk. Like you could see his ear like move and he cups it. He cupped his ear over to Kimmy. He was like, what happened between Mel and Trisha? And Kimmy said, why you want to know that, right? So Kimmy, who has been carrying the bone for all season, she knows to shut her mouth on this scene. I appreciated Kimmy for this because she said, why you want to know? And he went, because I want to know. I want to know what's going on. And she basically said, at the end of the day, they just looked like there was some history, something there. And she left it at that. She did not give any details about the two of them fighting over, this rumor that they were sleeping together. So I was like, okay, Kimmy, don't start no shit, especially at this wedding, child. So that was a-okay. But it did not matter, because here comes Melody walking through. Now we get Melody walking through by herself, child. I don't know if y'all was paying attention. She knew that all eyes, excuse me, Melody comes in with the whole idea was for her to kill this scene. You feel me? She walks in with the whole notion to slaughter Martell. She is dressed to kill. She looked like she was working out. She got a waist trainer on, child. I don't know. She just got all the things, okay? But she comes walking down the aisle. Everybody stops talking, not just Martell, but everybody, to the point of where they had to look over at Martell like, you got yourself? Are you okay? Martell said, don't play with me. Y'all was quiet too. Okay, she knew all eyes was on her. And when she sits down in her seat, she could barely contain herself. She knew that the mission was accomplished. Do you hear me? She had this smile on her face. She had this smile on her face like, bitch, I did it. Do you hear me? This shit was funny. Look at how proud she is of herself. Look at how proud she is of herself. I'm not loud and wrong. This is what she did. I know what this shit is. I'm not a kitten, baby. I'm a cat. Don't play with me. Melody walked into this wedding knowing she was there to fuck it up. Do you hear me? Period. She knew it. She knew she had Martell's attention. She knew she came to mess him up. And she did it. This smile was one of satisfaction. Okay? She didn't look back. She sat in that seat and said, she killed it, period. Y'all can take it how you want to, but that's what she did. Okay, look, this face right here. She didn't even put her bag down yet, and she knew. She knew he was looking at her. She knew everybody was looking at her. But this, when she tilts that hair to the side like, bitch, I ain't never got to look over there again, because I know what happened. Okay? Just telling y'all, this is how you come to play. This is how you come to play. Don't show up if you can't do this. You feel me? But anyway, Martell came to play after that too, because right after Martell recognized, okay, you got me. That's when Martell became full-blown narc tail. Okay. He is doing all he has up his sleeve at this moment is how to be a creep, because he's already told everybody a gazillion times that him and Melody have been in the same place, right? We've been in the same place. We know that they have to do stuff with the kids together. We know that they're in therapy together, all the things. We know this. But he spent the rest of this wedding staring at Melody, being a complete and total creep, looking at her like she is a damn ghost, okay, an apparition. He is sitting here doing all the things and then making sure that he gets on camera and talking to the friends. Oh, I don't care. It does hurt me that, we can't be parents to our kids together and that she doesn't talk to me. And I just want us to talk. I don't know why we can't. You know exactly why you can't. You're not dumb, but all Martell is doing is being an absolute creep. That is his play, and he does it for the rest of the wedding. He's doing it in confessional. He's doing it to anybody with ears. Okay, he don't give a damn, but this is the point. He don't care. He knows everything, but he is absolutely being a creep. Him staring at her is to make her uncomfortable. It's to make her uncomfortable because he knows that she knows. Okay, he ain't fooling no damn body. Predatory, exactly. He's being predatory. He is. And Melody said, I ain't letting this dress go to waste. I'm not letting this waste go to waste. I'm staying. I'm staying for the full wedding. I'm staying for the full, well, not the full reception, but that little after part. She stayed for all of that, all the way until they got to their seats. Okay. Um, Either way, her skin is crawling. I mean, she knew what was going on. I'm just telling y'all, sometimes y'all got to let the people play. They were playing. Melody played when she said, bitch, I'm getting this Versace gold dress or whatever it is. Okay. She got her shit together and she showed up. She showed up and showed out. Martell had on his Catholic priest uniform. Martell had on his Catholic priest uniform, okay? And he went over there and y'all know what's the crazy part about this is? He would have won if he would have just kept his head straight and talked about sports. Talk about football, talk about whatever. But no, he had to show his ass like he usually do. And it is what it is. He lost. He lost the entire time. Played the whole Creek card the entire time. Okay. But either way, Tisha and Marceau enter the room. They sit over there on Martell and all of the rest of the cast side. They're all there. Destiny showed up. Trisha shows up. Tisha and Marceau appear to be the only one, at least on camera, this is what the edit that they gave us, who says hello to Melody. They literally loud whisper, Mel, Mel, Mel. And then they wave at her and she waves back. She gives a big smile and waves back. But I was like, okay, this is hilarious to me. In confessional, Melody says, listen, aren't they all supposed to be in this big ass war? This shit is fake. They fake. They fake. I was like, Melody, at this point, everybody's faking it, including you, child, because you don't want to be here. You know what I'm saying? This is not some shit you would have done otherwise. Y'all are here to collect this check. So collect it, baby. But it was funny as hell that they did it. I was like, not Mel. You knew Marceau was going to speak. If you could have saw his face, he looked like a child. They were like waving. Both him and Tisha were waving, which I thought was, it was a cute little moment. Because when she looked over, she really tried to ignore them too. Like, I'm not looking over there. She looked over so sheepishly, like, I'm trying not to look on that side, but they caught it. Anyway, it does not matter. After this, we have Mel is at the party, but she is not seen with the ladies. She's not in any of these groups. I think they showed her standing beside Nell Fletcher. She's kind of standing beside Tisha. So her and Tisha are talking a little bit, which was cool. What did you say? Marceau was sneak peeking too? Was he sneak peeking too? Okay. It was just funny. It was all the things that usually happens at a wedding. I've never seen a wedding that didn't have exactly this bullshit. And I kid you not. And I love a wedding, child. I love a wedding for all the dynamics that happens, everything that goes down with the family. It is a good time if you're paying attention. But they gave us all of that, including the pastor passing out, child, having a heat stroke, him gone. Destiny and Lance, they had their grand opening and grand closing on the show right here. Destiny basically like, Lance is too immature for me. I don't want him to do X, Y, and Z. We don't know if they were fake dating or real dating or what, but they end up having their fake moment on screen. I thought it was funny when Martell was telling Maurice and Marceau, I don't know why Melody don't talk to me. We talk everywhere else. Maurice and Marceau just stared at him like, this isn't for us. This isn't our business. We don't give two shits. I think that was a real moment. Anyway, who else happened? What else happened? We get Nell and Chris actually exchanging their vows. Chris gives his wife a 7-carat ring. Okay, 7-carat diamond ring. I think that's what he said. Either 7.5 something, child. Anyway, she was damn near about to pass out, probably because she was trying to figure out who paid for it. I don't know. It was a whole thing. It was a beautiful little ceremony, though. I really enjoyed the family aspect of it. And I liked all the other dynamics. They really caught what happens at a wedding. I thought so anyway. You thought it was cute how he surprised her with the ring. She was like, "Is this real?" It was funny. It was funny. But anyway, they helped her. Look, Chris had to pick her up and take her off the stoop because she can't walk. Yes. Okay. 7.5 carats. She said, "Is this real, baby?" She was like, "Oh my God, I got a ring." Everybody was sitting there smiling. It was a good moment. We got to see Chris's daddy, Chris's cousin. It was a nice moment. But anyway, there's this huddle that happens with the girls. And in the huddle, we get this moment where Trisha, they're asking Trisha, the girls, all the girls except for Mel. Mel's the only person who isn't there. According to Destiny, she said that Melody is ostracizing herself by not wanting to be a part of the group. I'm not sure what is happening here. They literally left the island and then everything went haywire. The only thing that I could think is the passing of Kiki. They did not mention any of that during this season's filming, but you could tell that there is something there, right? When Melody showed up at the bachelorette party, they all stopped talking. But like I said, Tisha and Marceau were the ones who said hi to Mel. It did not appear like anyone else did, and I don't know why. Especially since they were talking to each other before that. So people are saying that Melody ostracized herself from Martell. The rest of the cast chose to sit on Martell's side. Well, Martell was sitting on that side. So look, this is what they're going to do. And this, you can say that this is part of production. Production could have put more people on Melody's side, but the way they had the camera angle, they went in front of Melody once and then everything else was a side angle. It looked like they kept the camera over on the group. I think it's just too much editing going on. That is hilarious. I think that's what happens during a TV show. Everything gets editing. Everything gets edited. Anyway, Trisha is sitting there with the group and they notice that Ken isn't there and they're asking, "Hey girl, where's Ken?" And Trisha said, "Yeah, he had a family emergency or whatever." And they can tell by the way she's speaking that it's more than that. And Tisha's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," but she's like, "Ooh, it clearly is something else." She says, "Is there something more going on?" And then you hear Kimmy say, "Is there anything that we can do?" And Trisha says, "No, it's life." So Trisha at this moment, even saying it's life, is basically saying, who gives a fuck if we stay or go? This is really what she's saying. I'm not going to sit here and cry to y'all about Ken or anybody else. This is life. She is a person who expects bad things to happen. Let's just put it that way. She's a person who expects bad things to happen. Okay. How dare Trisha call Mel trash when that wig she had on should be thrown in the trash? I did not hear that moment. I had to go back and listen. That was not a good wig, though. I agree with that shit. That was a horrible wig. People are saying that Kimmy needs to mind her business. Kimmy was getting a party started. She's supposed to talk. If we didn't get Kimmy talking, we wouldn't have half the scenes. Like, nobody would have filmed this season if it wasn't for Kimmy. That's a fact. Kimmy did what she was supposed to do. Okay? Anyway, she basically tells him, "I don't really care. It is what it is. I'm done with it." They're kind of all just like, "Oof, that's a bad place to be." But in confessional, Tisha says, "Listen," she says, "Ken and Trish came in a very non-conventional way. This whole storyline that they got is hard. That is a hard way to come in for your first season." She said they will tell their story when they're ready to tell their story. In the meantime, we all know that they're getting hit, but she said, "Ain't shit nobody can do. We're not going to even talk about it. It is what it is." And I thought that was just, she gave her a little bit of empathy, but it was still hard. Trisha decided to pull that synthetic cap. Ooh, everybody's talking about Trisha's look. Tisha looked good in confessional. They were all cute. Y'all leave Kimmy alone. Kimmy has to get the scene started. These people would never film, ever film together. The last scene is Melody and the group. They're all at this reception table. I think they're about to eat. It is clear that there is nameplates on everybody's shit, right? Martell looked like he was across the room. But I think it's Maurice. He lets everybody know, this is where we're supposed to be seated. Here's your nameplate, right? Then we see Martell come over with a chair to put himself at the same table as Melody. Melody says, I don't do this. I don't F with you in real life. I'm not going to F with you here. This is my cue to leave. She stands up and she heads over to Chris and Nell Fletcher. She says her goodbyes to them and she's out the door. Martell again pretends like he does not know why. Okay. Which was dumb. This happened several months ago. Yeah, this did happen several months ago. I believe about 5 or 6 months ago, maybe 5 months ago, going on 6. So Peggy said that Mel didn't get a chance to eat. Well, she better stop by someplace and pick something up. At the end of the day, she said she's not going to let Martell say something, you know, because he was looking for his moment to say something to her. She said it's not going to happen. So there you have it. So now you guys know. Everybody who was stumping the ground calling me names, I was right. Some of y'all got blocked. So make your fake accounts. Martell put up a chair and said, this is my show. Yep. And she played him, made him look stupid. Everybody is still sitting there. Nobody would have filmed this season. Nobody would have filmed this season if it wasn't because of Kimmy, Dyana, not true. Well, who do you think actually had these stories together? Who do you think how would this have happened otherwise? Somebody has to bring the story to somebody. Melody's scenes were all pickup scenes. Somebody had to tell someone, hey, this is what's going on, so that Melody could come and film with Kimmy. Melody went and filmed with Maurice. Y'all can go back and watch it. She didn't start the party. She came into the party. Kimmy's moment about the BBL was nasty, in my opinion. That's next week, child. We got to wait. We got to wait till next week, and we're going to see what happened. But I do know this, Melody, who has been through a lot of stuff on this show, better not let that scene run her off. That better not be what I'm going to stop myself. I just know that she's not going to fall back because of Kimmy. I won't accept it. I won't accept it. Okay. I think that people get so mad for no reason. Yeah, people do get mad for no reason, child. I know that's the truth. Anyway, last scene is Trisha and Ken, child. Trisha and Ken, these two basically let it rip. They let it rip. They let it rip. Trisha is no longer nervous in front of these cameras. We're going to see. I mean, listen, I know everybody has a moment, but I don't know. I'm going to save my commentary for next week. So Ken asked Trisha if she was open to having a conversation. Okay. Trisha says it depends on the conversation. That should let you know right there. She's not open. She's not open. But this scene looks like it was filmed at a different date, because we know that Trisha had on the blonde wig. It definitely wasn't filmed after the blonde wig, right? She has that blonde wig on. They actually closed the scene. We got a chance to see the pictures of the rap party. So we are getting a scene from months ago. I think they might have filmed the scene when, I want to say probably when she interviewed with Carlos King, because remember they were letting us know then that they had been fighting and it was over Martell. I think that's when they actually filmed the scene, and they put it on last night and made it a part of the finale. But I don't think that it was following the wedding. It definitely was taken out of order. It was definitely taken out of order. Now, Trish is not good at arguing. She is very closed off. Her way of arguing is to turn it right back on you. You say one thing, she just repeats it. That's the most frustrating argument of all time. Okay. But anyway, I'm jumping ahead. Trisha says it depends on the conversation. And in confessional, she actually said that there's a lot of tension between her and Ken due to Martell. She also says that she's not going to walk on eggshells in this house. She said that was some shit that she used to do with Marquez, and she will not do it with Ken. So this is where these two are. Ken basically says to her that her time of being secretive, keeping things to herself, is no longer going to play out in their relationship. He wants her to talk, okay? He give her examples of how he's allowed her to get away with some shit, say things, and, not get the real. He said, for instance, in the beginning of our relationship, you sent Marquez a text saying that you would take him back in a heartbeat. That's the first thing that I was like, oh, that's not good. He puts that out. And he said, now we got this Martell situation. I don't know what's going on, but you're going to have to talk to me. You're going to have to let me know what's going on. Trish says, no, I don't. Okay. She said, those jokers live in our house rent free. That's how Trisha's talking. Ken said, I don't give a shit about those men. He said, even though Marquez is the one who is the majority of our problems, I don't care about that. He said, I don't care about Martell either. This isn't about Martell. I don't have a problem with Martell. I have a problem with you. And then she responds, I have a problem with you. And now they are letting the F-bomb fly at each other. All the things they tell you in therapy not to do. Don't curse at each other. Don't do any of that shit because it's the wrong thing. You're never going to hear each other. They said it. They basically just keep repeating this back and forth. No, you're my problem. No, you're my problem. No, it's you. No, it's you. They're doing this to the point of where I was dizzy. Okay. And then Ken got up and said, I can't fucking do this. I can't do this. And he goes walking out the door. Trisha is so nonchalant in this moment because he wants her to say something that is going to make him feel better. You know what I'm saying? You can tell. Let me see. This commentary is very biased toward Melody from the cast. This commentary is very biased toward Melody. I didn't say anything biased toward Melody. Melody is grown. Y'all are so slow sometimes. I don't care though. Fuck it. At the end of the day, she handled what she was supposed to handle. She is a grown, let me say this. I actually said, fuck it. If y'all don't let Melody stand up and do what she's supposed to do, Melody has handled herself every season perfectly. She collects her dough and she goes her way every single time. I don't know why y'all always make her out to be so weak. She's not weak. She is a very strong player on this show. She's never been weak, ever. She has brought her story to this show. She has told everything. She has not tried to hide her shit. Ever. She stood on it. I don't understand it. Just because it's something you wouldn't do doesn't mean that she hasn't done it and been okay with it. And she should not quit this show because she had a problem with Kimmy. I'm going to stand on that. Melody better not quit the show because of the bullshit that went down between her and Kimmy. Every season, Melody and Martell have said all kinds of things to each other. Every season, all kinds of bullshit has happened outside of this show with Martell and that crazy heifer that he has a baby by. And Melody has stood up, stood proud, head high. If she allows the dumb shit that we saw in a preview with Kimmy to get her goat, y'all shouldn't even want that. Y'all shouldn't ask for it. It doesn't look good at all. That's not bias. That's straight up facts. Don't walk away from your shit because of something that Kimmy said. Why would y'all want that to happen? Y'all ain't good friends to Mel. Y'all don't like her. You are not a good fan. I'm going to stand on that. People who ask for her to fall and crumble for the likes of some bullshit that Kimmy said, when we've heard the nastiest stuff ever said came from Ariane, is wild. Y'all aren't fans. You're not a good fan. You're a horrible fan. I'm going to stand on that. I don't care how you feel. Unfollow. Straight up. I would never in a million years, and this is me and any friend that I've ever had in my life, I would never tell them to walk away, to walk away from their shit because of something some lunatic, some woman said. Who gives a shit? Follow back up and tell her where she can stick it. Why would you want that for her? Please. Anyway, that's it. You guys are listening to the wrong people. Y'all bring that lady down every time y'all make it seem like she can't stand up for herself. She never has a backbone. I have never spoke about her like that in my entire time being on this platform. I have always said that she was smart. I have always said that she is one. That is a fact. I have never said that Mel has lost at any fucking thing. But y'all keep saying it, and I don't understand why. And I feel like I'm not the channel for you, and that's cool too. Y'all just have to go to the places that offer you what you like. Okay? But that's it. If I hear otherwise, I'm not going to agree with it. I'm not going to agree with it. That's if you've ever followed me, that's how I speak about her. That's how I've spoken about her in the past, and I've not changed how I've spoken about her. I was the one who said that she was playing chess, not checkers. I started that shit. I started it. And then she started putting out the fucking chess pieces. FY motherfucking I. Okay? Anyway, Ken gets up and he just basically says, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I will not argue with you anymore. Trisha becomes very nonchalant. She's not offering him anything. She's not trying to make him feel good about nothing. She said, that's cool. Basically, go. I don't care. You can leave. And that definitely trips him off. And he starts screaming, you're not going to do this to me. You're not going to make me out to be the crazy one. You're not going to make me be the one who, whatever. Make me seem like I'm mad or jealous. It's you. It's fucking you. And that's when she turned around and said, it's fucking you. And Trisha likes to argue. You can tell because she stood up. She had that damn mic pack on. She grabbed her shit and she said, She goes running to the back. And he said, everything you see up in this mofo, I paid for. Okay? I paid for it. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm just never been that type of girl. So I get it. I've told y'all I come from a very strong family when it comes to women. But he said, at the end of the day, I pay for everything you see up in here. Everything. I pay for the house, the cars. I got this person's car fixed. He is letting her know that he could take his shit and go. And she said, then go. I don't care. You should leave at the end of the day. Ken starts screaming at the cameras. Y'all want the real? Y'all want real reality? This is the real. This is what we into. So they're breaking the fourth wall. They are doing all kinds of things. Trish got the door open like motherfucking you can go. And the camera crew can go out with you. Half of the camera crew is on the outside. Ken says some shit like, you're going to have to explain this to your children then. You're going to have to let them know why all of this blew up, because I'm not going to tolerate this. I'm not sticking around for this shit. And then he says, I can go to an island and be fine. I'll be fine. But what about you? Now, I don't know what is happening here with the vulnerabilities and him saying, listen, I got all the money, because I thought that a lot of people were saying that Trisha had a good job, that she worked as a engineer, I think some sort of computer engineer, computer science maybe, at Boeing or NASA, wherever. But they made it seem like she was making a lot of money and that her kids and everybody could be fine. But Ken is acting like he is really supplementing her lifestyle, that if it wasn't for him, they wouldn't have anything. That is how I was getting the impression. And she said, nope, nope, nope. And you can go. Okay. Now that was again 6 months ago. It looks like maybe longer than 6 months. Cause like I said, this scene you can tell was cut earlier in the summer. And they added it as the season finale, which is fine. Hopefully they don't watch that and turn it into something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they have a bad moment. If they're over that hump, hopefully they stay over that hump. But that is what went down, and it was pretty bad. Now, I'm going to say, for as bad as it is, people do fight like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you are new in your relationship. They've only been dating, according to them, for 2 years. According to them for 2 years. If you've only been dating that long, you got to learn how to fight. You got to learn how to talk. All of that stuff comes with marriage too. You got to learn how to do those things with each other. I had to learn to do it with my husband. He had to learn to do it with me. But we are watching them put all of their vulnerabilities out on the table. And that is how the scene ends. That's pretty much it. She is an engineer, but she enjoys body sculpting more. From what I understand, they opened the season with her saying that she was going to quit her job and become a full-time trainer. So she said that's what inspires her. That's what makes her happy. But the scene was tough. The scene was tough. I really liked it though. I appreciated it. I thought it was a real scene. Okay. We've gotten real scenes out of a lot of people on the show. We've seen Marceau and Tisha fight for real. You know, the scene with Tisha and Marceau in the kitchen, and Marceau screaming on Tisha and saying, if Melody offered you an apology, why wouldn't you take it? Do you want this to continue? Like, and Tisha crying and feeling like her husband wasn't on her side. That was some tough shit to watch. And we've seen them have even more scenes like that when they were at the bar. And Marceau tells Tisha that Melody's, you know, on her way up. Their scenes seem to be all around Melody. Melody's on her way up, and Tisha got upset, and she fought him then too. That was a tough scene. The shit with Maurice and Kimmy. I think there was only 2 scenes that I can remember. If y'all can remember more, put it in the chat. But Kimmy sitting on that damn porch and Maurice kissing her on the forehead and saying, I'm going to move my ex-wife and her husband into one of my properties rent-free. Without telling her, he said, I already told her. I already told her that she could do it because my son is going to be here. This was right after they got married. That was a gut punch. That was a horrible thing to happen. Happened right on camera. And the other time is when Kimmy went home and said, listen, is Monster suspended? I think Tiffany had told her, she said, why didn't I know this? I live here. Like, why wouldn't you tell me this? And Maurice told Kimmy, me and his mother took care of it. You don't have to worry about anything. Oh, that was painful. That was painful to have your husband who live in your house tell you that you don't have the right to know about his son, even though you cook for him, clean for him. We all knew that shit ended with near like a murder, right? Okay. That was a real fight. Endless fights between Melody and Martell. I told y'all the other week, Martell tried to activate Melody's murder gene when he made that comment. What did he say? Don't make me take the kids. That's when you're trying to activate someone's murder gene. Don't make me take custody of the kids. I'll file for custody. I was shocked. Well, this is something similar. Okay. Let me see. Thank you guys for blessing the channel. I appreciate that. Thank you, Ms. Blackberry. I appreciate you so much. Also, thank you, Cheryl the Pearl. Love the commentary, Diana. Always unbiased. If you took notes, could you give commentary on the preview of the reunion? On the preview, I'll say so. Sure. I'll give you guys what I can. Y'all know that's true, though. Y'all know that if y'all would have heard that I can't even say for everybody else, if that would have happened in my house growing up, and I say this as a person who used to watch my mom and her brothers and sisters, they used to fight, child. Even as grown people, they would fight. They would fight the boyfriends and girlfriends of they siblings and all kinds of shit. But you couldn't say stuff like that to people and not expect to get your ass whooped. Not nearly enough likes for over 1,000 people watching. Thank you so much. Okay, I appreciate that. Okay, so listen, in this preview, we saw a couple of things. Number one, it opens with the one thing that I was shocked at. We know that Martell has this trial. He had that trial last year, May 2nd, I believe was the date, 2024, where he received a sentence of a conviction, found guilty of DV, harassing communications, received a no contact order, and he was supposed to follow through without contacting Melody except for what the family court outlined. And we know what the family court outlined because the judge gave an update in June where she said Martell needed to continue therapy with the family, which would give him access to Melody and the kids, and that they could, continue being good parents and going to games and things like that. Martell loves to say that, oh, I don't have a restraining order and I can do all these things. Well, you're only supposed to, engage each other in the capacity of parenting, nothing else, right? What we found out in the preview is that Martell pled guilty, according to Melody. He pled guilty and then asked for an appeal. Wow. Now that is some crazy shit. I had no idea. He pled guilty and filed an appeal. And I think his court date is supposed to be on the 5th of next month. I think maybe. It's supposed to be sometime next month unless they bumped it. And now the new family case is going to happen, I believe, in May. You ain't lying, Queens Jaja. A whole bag full of nuts. But Carlos King gets in Martell's face and said, Martell, did you plead guilty? Which lets us know that Martell lied to even Carlos King. There was a lie there because Carlos had to jump up out of his damn seat and say, wait a minute, Melody, are you serious? And he said, yeah. And when he goes over and he's like in his face, I was like, ugh. When he called and asked you some questions, you lied about it. And that's the truth. I don't know who Massa is. There is a plantation in this sector, but I don't carry it, child. I'm the Harriet Tubman, okay? You either come along or you get shot on the way. You know what I'm saying? You can't turn back. I was in the kitchen cooking and heard he was trying to activate the murder gene. Not the murder gene, Diana. Yeah, there's only so much you can take when it comes to your children, child. And sometimes you say certain things, you're pushing buttons and you're trying to see where them bullets is going to land. That's the only thing I can think of. That's for sure. Now that was the first thing that I saw just off rip from looking at the episode. That was the first thing. The other thing that I saw is there is a conversation that is going to be had between, I guess Destiny is going to be asked about whether or not she was being groomed to have a threesome. Okay. That was wild. Melody looked like, I'm tired of the bullshit. Okay. Like she looked fit to be tied. Destiny smiled and laughed about it. I'm going to have to look at that entire scene and everybody's reactions to it. The other thing that happened was Marceau and Martell are going to get into it about thank you, Tamara. I appreciate that. Marceau and Martell are going to get into it because Marceau's going to point blank say, I don't respect you. He says it again. You are horrible. You're a horrible person. And then he point blank gives the example in the relationship. The fact that you had a videotape that you were going to put out there and then make it seem like it was someone else, another man, when it was actually you. So this whole conversation is going to be had between Martell and Marceau. Martell is screaming, stop speaking on what you don't know anything about and stuff like that. The whole time Melody looks uncomfortable. She's rolling her eyes and all kinds of stuff. But the shit is out there. The shit is out there. We're going to have to see how it plays out. But in this moment, Marceau is punching at Martell and saying what has been out there on the internet. And I can't even say out there on the internet, the very thing that Ariane, Martell's baby mama, put on the internet, because nobody else did. It was Ariane. Okay. You gave the information to somebody who put it out there, and you confirmed it through those audio tapes that came from original Straight No Chasers channel. So that's something that I'm looking forward to seeing. What else happened? We got Melody, Kimmy, and Maurice. Now, if y'all listen to me, if y'all been listening to me review this season, y'all can go back and look at it. I told you the show has been renewed for another season. It looks like they're filming now. I told y'all that the scene between Melody and Kimmy was an awkward scene to me. I did not know what was going on there, but Melody was saying things to Kimmy that she didn't look like she actually meant. In my opinion, her face looked sad. She looked like words were coming out of her mouth, but the words that were coming out of her mouth did not match the energy that she was giving. Okay. And she ends up saying to Kimmy at the end of the day, there were pictures or there's rumors out there on the internet about, I want to know if the Scott brothers saw the videos or photos. Hopefully these questions are asked. Let's hope. Okay. But she ended up telling Kimmy, there's stuff out there about Maurice. Looks like he had lipstick on his lips. She had the conversation, it looks like a few times. She said it to Tisha. I think she may have said it to Trisha. And she said it to, well, yeah, she was talking to Trisha about it because she said, were you there? Did you see how he left and all that stuff? And then she said, you know, when Kimmy came in to address her, she said, you know what it is. There's a whole bunch of people that saw it. You can't make me not talk, is what she said. You can't make me not talk. I feel like you're trying to shut me up or shut me down. I will say what I want to say. And then she said, as of this moment, I won't repeat it to anybody else. But she wasn't, even though she didn't say, I'm sorry, in my opinion, and I said this out loud already, it felt like Melody didn't want to say what she said. It didn't feel like Melody wanted to say, I don't care, bitch. I don't care. That's what I saw. Too bad. I don't care. That's not the look she was giving. She was giving a completely different look. Okay. In the scene, when Maurice comes for her, and we're used to Maurice coming for Melody. Melody and Maurice, they have at it all the time. And Melody, at the end of the day, will say whatever she wants to Maurice. But it did hurt her that Kimmy came back for her. So when Maurice brings it up and said, I really didn't expect Melody to say these things about me, and this shows me who Melody is, In my opinion, I was thinking, well, I think that if Melody and Maurice would have went back and forth, it would have just been Melody and Maurice. Melody probably would have said some shit like, you and I talked about this. We've already apologized. It's not that big of a fucking deal. Who cares, right? But when Kimmy comes for Melody and says, when Mel says, well, shit I heard on the internet. And Kimmy said, there's things that we hear on the internet, like you had a butt job or a BBL. That shocked Melody. She was not expecting it. And what it tells me is Mel can't be surprised that's her husband. What it tells me is Melody and Kimmy don't have those kind of interactions with each other. She was not expecting it. I want to see how it gets resolved. Kimmy was mad as shit. Melody just ended it by saying, hey, that's not what we're talking about here. But she was caught off guard. And we're not used to seeing Melody caught off guard, right? We're used to Melody having a snappy ass comeback. We're not used to Melody getting caught off guard. Kimmy is screaming on Melody and she's trying to embarrass her. She's trying to make her feel bad. So that apology that Maurice gave was not genuine. So Cookie, this is my whole point, because sometimes we forget how the whole shit started. We saw Melody go to that damn, go to Maurice's office, correct? We saw them sit there and heard him say, well, I apologize to you for hurting you with things I might have said out there. And then Melody said, thank you. I apologize to you. In this moment, on this reunion stage, we're getting something else. And when Melody is stumped by Kimmy, she's not able to pop back the way she would usually, because she's not expecting that from Kimmy. And I don't think the audience is expecting it from Kimmy. But Kimmy does hurt Melody's feelings, and you can see it. You can see it in her face. You're right, because Mel said that she's done, so why bring it up again? It was squashed. Mel realized that it was done in that moment. Well, they're going to talk about it on the reunion. And that's what, you know, everybody's going to have to wrap things up and talk about it on the reunion. So it's going to be talked about again. My point is, when it was just between Mel and Maurice, the car could have been driven differently. You understand what I'm saying? Because she probably would have brought it back to what her and Maurice talked about. It's that Kimmy got so upset that Kimmy drove that car in a different direction. Kimmy got that from AC, from the internet, which is why I think it caught Melody off guard. Melody had better drag that dirty bitch to hell. Well, we're going to see. This is, you know, the way they stop the scene is to make us, you know, tune in. But at this moment in time, the shit that has come out is that Melody and Kimmy get into it. That is what everybody keeps saying. And that Melody might have gotten so hurt that she started crying. But Melody's feelings may have gotten hurt. The whole point, though, is, and I'm standing on this and I don't give a shit, Melody better not let what happened between her and Kimmy be her reason. I would rather her say anything else except this bullshit between her and Kimmy. Because Melody has a lot of shit in her arsenal that she could say. Even now. And sometimes, you know, people get one off. You know what I'm saying? Look at Nene Leakes and Claudia Jordan. Remember that shit? Claudia had one of the best seasons ever, and she effed it all up when she got on the reunion and she didn't realize that she won. She was winning, and she got on the reunion, started crying, talking about she's tired of people calling her a half-breed and all kinds of shit. And everybody was like, girl, this is not what you want. Like, just stay strong. Stay strong, girl. Like, there's 1,000 things that Melody has said about Kimmy that hit and landed. When Tiffany was crying that day, because I think Maurice, Kiowa, Kimmy, they all came for her at that black, whatever it was, open house, something they had. And they were like, you keep your mouth off my kids and all this shit. And Melody went to the bathroom and said, listen, this ain't got shit to do with you. Melody tells Tiffany, this don't have shit to do with you. This is about Maurice not telling his wife and trying to make you be the blame, make you look bad. But calling Kimmy a little weak bitch in that moment is what she did. Kimmy and Maurice have a fucked up relationship. He's not telling her what's going on, which was the perspective I took. You need to tell your wife what's happening inside your house. A lot of y'all sided with the Scotts and said it was wrong for what's her name, for Tiffany to do, because she was talking about kids. It wasn't really that. It was that Kimmy is left out. Kimmy was left out of what was happening in her own house. You took out Nene Leakes. Nene got creamed. Nene got creamed by Claudia Jordan during the season, but Claudia lost on the reunion stage because she didn't realize that she was winning. She ended up crying and making it seem like she couldn't handle the weight. And I don't want for Melody to go out and make it seem like she couldn't handle the weight. But Dyana, Kimmy didn't hear that from bloggers. She heard that from Martell and his baby mama. I heard it from the blogs. I heard it on the internet. Did that happen? Did his baby mama start it? Yes, probably. But what did I say to y'all just a couple of minutes ago? Nothing that Ariane has said has stopped Melody from showing up on that screen and doing what she needed to do. Y'all need to pump life into her and stop bringing her down. Pump life. Life. Kimmy should bring that energy whenever her husband embarrasses her in public. I don't disagree with y'all. I don't disagree. Sometimes anger, hurt, and frustration will bring someone to tears. Correct. I don't disagree with that either. But you know what you do? You get up. You get up and you face whatever the shit is in the day and you keep punching. I love the strength of, I don't like to see people fold, especially for something as weak as what is that. Like, get up and fight. Get up and fight back. There's nothing wrong with that. Kimmy's own husband said that she had no hair. We first heard the recordings from Coleslaw. Okay. I hear you. Melody has elevated and doesn't need to continue to be around people who come for her. Okay. Look, Tiff's Truth would like to share her opinion. So here you go, Tiff Truth. Let me get you up here. Let me get you up here. We forget that we're watching a TV show sometimes. I think sometimes we take this so personally that we don't understand that we really are just watching, you know, the dynamics of these people's relationships. We're watching dynamics, we're watching friendship, we're watching marriage and all the stuff, relationships. Okay, Tiff is here, y'all. Tiff is in the house.
Hi, Diana.
Hey, girl.
I'm a fan. I'm not like a crazy fan. I'm not disrespectful. But I just wanted to talk about you saying that I do agree that Mel is not a victim. And I think some of her fans act
Make it
like
seem like she's half dead, like she's been buried and all the things, and she's never ever presented that way.
yeah, and I think sometimes people do get a bit overzealous when it comes to her. It's almost as if they are just way, way too personally invested. But that's another story. But I just wanted to say she's alluding to leaving, and you say you hope it's not because of the Kimmy thing. And I just wanted to just use this. Candace from Real Housewives of Potomac, you know, she left the season before. And
Mhm.
one of the reasons she cited is she said, I cannot fight with the cast and production. I personally believe it's a bigger thing going on. And I think it's going on between Mel and Carlos King. I was looking at the show last night, and it seems like a lot of it was just kind of heavily, a lot of the scenes were set up to almost bash Mel.
Okay, give me some examples. What scene bashed her?
Okay, so when the scene with Destiny, Kimmy, Tisha, and Trisha, where it seemed like like Kimmy brings up Mel's name among all of them. They don't like her, so they're never going to have anything positive to say. And Trish says, well, when they take out the trash, Destiny says, what's new? And so it's almost like, to me, that's kind of setting them up to say negative things about her. I think then when Martell,
one second, Tiff. Hi, Lady D. Do you mind putting your mute button on for me? Thank you, sweetie. Okay. Let's get back to it. So why?
And I hope I'm not talking really fast because I'm kind of nervous, but
no, you're fine. You're totally fine. So what, this is my thing. Cause again, no, first of all, let me stop. I apologize. Cause I need to tell you my perspective when you finish.
Okay. So then when Mel leaves, Martell, he has his confession. He says, well, I'm doing everything I can and Mel won't meet me halfway. And then Destiny says, oh, well, Mel is basically ostracized, herself. And it just seems like they're almost creating a narrative as if everybody's willing to come together except her. Oh, she's put herself on an island by herself. Okay. To me, some of those things I do believe she has issues with the cast. We all know she does not want to film with Martell. But I also think it's a bigger issue with her and Carlos King. And I think with him being the main producer and editing the show, I think they can edit in a way that does not look favorable. And I do wonder what is her long-term strategy, because she's almost alluding on social media as if she's going to leave the show. And I know a lot of her fans say she doesn't need the show, but unless she has some other shows lined up, I think her presence on on Love and Marriage Huntsville is needed. So I don't really know where all of this is going long term. It seems like it's a issue between her and Carlos. I feel like he needs her and she kind of needs the show. I don't know. I think it's a mutual thing. But if she falls out with Kimmy, if you watch, Kimmy was the person who kind of brought most of the things back to her. Chris Fletcher, Trish, and Martell. So if she falls out with Kimmy, she doesn't like Destiny. She doesn't like Tisha. Doesn't seem like her and Nell are really, really close. I just wonder, how does she move forward with the show at this point if she has fallen out with everybody to the point she really can't film with them?
Okay. Thank you. First off, I appreciate everything that you said. Okay. I really appreciate your opinion. I'm glad you got it out there. I think that a lot of people may actually feel the way you feel. Okay. Here's the thing for me. Melody is the star of the show. Up, down, sideways, in a circle. She's the star.
I agree.
The star of the show gets talked about more than anyone else because they are the star. It's what comes with it. It's the burden of being the star. That's number one. And sometimes in this particular season, this is what, the 9th season, right? This is the 9th half of the season. People have, in my opinion, people have asked that it feels like the fans are trying to take her stardom away from her by saying, we don't want you to. Don't do this with this one. Don't do this with that one. And what ends up happening, and this is why I gave that little speech at the beginning. If you are watching the show and you are on the show, please just stay on the show. Stop listening to what's happening on the outside, because this is your shit. This is your shit. Nobody knows it better than you. Nobody knows what is happening better than you. So this is Melody's platform. She's the star of the show. She is going to have interactions that may not be favorable, but it's how you come out in the end as the star. That's what made you the fucking star in the first place, period. And we sometimes forget that when we are watching. You know what I'm saying? We sometimes forget that. So yes, can being the star, is that a burden? Is it heavy to carry? Facts. Not everybody can do it. Not everybody can do it. Can Destiny be the star? No. Can Sunny be the hell no? No, it can't happen. Who else? Kimmy, no.
I agree with you. I think
None of
she's the
those
star of
people
the
can be the
show.
star.
I don't disagree with you, but she is like alluding. I don't think the fans are just saying the fans do say she needs to leave. She needs to leave. But if you look at her stories,
So
she's alluding to an exit.
I get
And
it. I get it. And let me finish what I was going to say. I think that some of what has happened over the last couple of months has also been, because if you remember, hold on one second. Who do I have up here? They don't have a name. KC. Hold on. I see you, sir. I appreciate you. Let me finish my point. I'm gonna bring you up, okay? Because I got somebody new up here. The thing is, if y'all remember when Stormy and Melody were going back and forth with each other. How you doing? When Stormy and Melody were going back and forth with each other, and it was all about the millimeters. And then Stormy said, "I can't take this shit. I'm out." What did Melody say? "You can't take the heat. Get the fuck out the kitchen. This is my shit. I started it. You can walk beside me. You can walk behind me, but you don't walk in front of me." And that meant that she understood the burden. She understood what she was carrying. That was her show. I get her and Martell, but this particular season, I didn't like last season at all, to be honest. I mean, there were some good points for season 8, but season 9 was probably one of the best. That is because she was actually expressing herself a little differently than before. Before she's making it about friendship and Martell, and I don't want to be friends with y'all if y'all friends with Martell. This is the show. She can still film like she has already told us on TikTok. We don't have to be cool. Half of those people aren't cool, but nobody's going to push me off my shit. And that's it. You have to accept that, okay? Now I'm going to ask for Casey to talk because I don't think I've ever had you up. So
how you doing? Thank you for allowing me up.
no,
This show is a roller coaster, right? Everybody gets invested. How I got involved in the show, it kind of came about when I told my sister that her husband was cheating on her, pretty much. And so before I could get a chance to really whip his ass, I just told her to check the phone records. So
okay.
so with that, and me being big brother, being a protector, but her being a woman, the show kind of spoke to me. I mean, even to this day, what she's gone through, the divorce was finalized last year. But when I say it mirrors Mel and Martell, and so I try to get her to watch the show to kind of see how it goes. So now she's built her own business, multi-million-dollar business. He's acting away because he's broke and he's laid up with somebody else. I mean, it mirrors it perfectly. I told her, this is one thing, you can fight all you want to. You built it, is that, and this goes to Melody. Two things I feel like has happened. God kept her on the show to protect her from the antics of Martell. Now that we know that Martell is cuckoo crazy, and all the other cast members have come out and basically said, yeah, he's showing us this, he showed us this, and in so many uncertain terms have showed, which side they're going to be on. Melody has outgrown the show. And to me, if she wants to leave, she can leave, because the show is going to fall apart anyway, because she is the glue, even though she's a star. Sometimes being a star, you have control to end it. So whether she walks away or whether she continues filming, like the young lady just previously said, it's production that's setting her up. We know Mel does a whole bunch of stuff outside of Love and Marriage Huntsville that she's even admitted that they haven't even shown, or they don't even film. Even other cast members say they don't show this part, because I feel like the vendetta that what's the guy's name? Carlos has against her is basically to tear her down. He has something against women and marriages that is just unreal.
What you think was a teardown for her for this season?
This season, a lot of it has been just everyone's dog piling on her, right? And the way they dog pile on her is everyone is basically gaslighting. It's gaslighting. It's like, oh, we did this, and this is happening because of Mel. Mel. Even when Mel isn't on the show, Mel is a topic of conversation. So for people to say that she doesn't have a storyline, she is a storyline. However, anytime she has to go and film with them, the stuff is always being brought up about, oh, you said this, or this person don't like you, or we're bringing this person on. We've heard in the past, even when Sunny said that when she was producing, what's the girl named Destiny, that Destiny was trying to get her get back by trying to bring people on. So it's always some kind of sneak attack that's happening, and any human being will get over it. It's like you going to work in a 9-to-5 and your boss, your supervisors, co-workers are against you. You could be the star employee, you could be the best employee, but after a while, it's the environment that will have an effect on you. And you don't enjoy going to work. So what do? You either quit and get another job, or you can fight fire with fire, but then sometimes stooping down to everybody else's level diminishes the blessings that you may have coming further down the line. So my take is this: whether she leave, if she leaves, it's just going to be another kind of miserable season. They're going to keep throwing Mel and Martell up in her face. The other cast members don't want them to move past that because that's how they know them. And they know it's a sore spot for Mel, even though she's over it. But it's like, here's another scene. Y'all trying to Martell X. Y'all trying to say, if I say something, it's because I still have feelings for Martell. I feel like she should just go on and bounce because her star is going to shine brighter even outside of this show. She's totally outgrown this show. And that's just kind of like my take on it. So even though she's the star, the show can still go on, but it's going to flop like all the other Carlos King shows that he's tried to resurrect, the Love and Marriage franchises and the other things he's tried to done because he's no good. And so she's going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say she doesn't need the money for this show, but we know that Mel knows how to make money. So anytime you know how to make money, you know how to make money wherever you go. And that's just kind of like my take on it. But I do understand where everyone is coming from. It's a hard pickle to be in. Like you say, I don't think she needs this job. I know it provided a little bit of cover. And I think the final straw to kind of give her a little bit of peace of mind is when Tisha opened her big mouth and said, Martell been showed us all this stuff. He's been showing us the revenge porn. It's real, it's this and that. And hopefully that's the nail in the coffin for her to do what she needs to do legally, get Martell out the way, and to hell with the rest of them.
Okay. I appreciate you, KC, for coming up. This is your first time up. You are welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Okay. I'm going to drop down because I'm driving. So.
Okay. Well, thank you.
But I'll still be listening. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye. So this is what I'm going to say to y'all so that you hear, because I do understand. I think I put my sister's thing up. She says, does the environment have an effect on her or is it the audience? I personally think it's the audience. Because she and I talk about this a lot. And the reason why I think it's the audience and that a lot of it, the energy that is fed to her is coming from the fans, is because the environment is somewhat controlled. Melody does not, when they go onto film, she knows what she's going into, right? Like she actually said this. This isn't something that I'm making up. She said on her TikTok, when everybody was like, Destiny set her up. Or not Destiny, Tisha set her up and she brought Destiny and it was a setup and it was a setup and it was a setup. She said, y'all, I've been filming this for a long time. Even when she tries to explain it to everyone assumes the worst and they try to create this victim thing. But she said, I am aware that she was coming. I know how production works. I'm not dumb. These were her words. I swear to you, I'm not making it up. Then now what the production team is doing, if you guys aren't paying attention, is they're trying to appease the audience. So when Tisha says, Mel, I sent you a text telling you that Destiny was coming. Now they got to show the actual text. They did it with Tisha. They did it with the Martell thing. They are trying to show all the stuff to the audience to let the audience know, even though y'all are saying they're being set up. They're trying to let the audience know we're not doing this, right? And it's really affecting the show. And this, for me, when I'm watching it, because I'm laughing, thinking, just like what happened last night with Nell Fletcher and Lance. Make sure you set them on opposite sides. I want them both sitting up in front, but I don't want them. I'm like, so now we have to know every little move that usually wouldn't be a part of some of this production stuff, because they are trying to calm the audience down a lot of the time. The truth of the matter is Mel and Martell are going to be into it when Melody decides to leave the show. When she decides to leave the show, Martell and her will still be at it, because that is where they are right now. That is where they are. They're not over that hump. They're not over the hump. This shit, when this stuff is happening, they're not over the hump, right? And because they're not over the hump, we're getting conversations from Trisha on screen and from Marceau. We're tired of everybody blaming us for your shit. You guys broke up and we're getting all the heat. Why is this being our problem? So now this is what feels like the pile up, because they're fighting the audience. They're not fighting each other so much as they are fighting us. They are fighting the viewers. In my opinion, just from my brother-in-law used to do film. It was in film school, all kinds of stuff. So some of the shit that he knows, he'll tell me about how the scenes are set up and things like that. So I got to learn this years ago when I was in college. But they are fighting the viewers, Tiff, because we give the most grief. We actually say, Carlos need to do this, you're doing this, you're putting Melody in horrible situations. Every scene that they did this year, if y'all have been paying attention, they've been out loud saying, we got to let Melody know when Martell is being here, so that you don't think I set her up. Because if you think that I set her up as a member of this cast, then people will go after my business, or people will do this. So they've done some weird shit this season that took a little bit more camera time than it should have. But somebody said CK is not over their marriage. I agree. I'm not saying anything about the millimeters. You guys are saying the shit about the millimeters. I don't even like talking about millimeters anymore. I don't say anything about y'all. So if you are a millimeter and you feel like this is hitting you personally, I would only assume it's because that people are doing something like that. But outside of that, there are fans that we do know, and you can call yourself whatever you want, that get really emotionally invested, and they have sometimes done some horrid shit. So that has created this fans against production, and it is bad. The other thing that has happened on this show is that the cast members are fighting directly with fans. They're fighting directly with fans, and it prevents them from actually doing what they're supposed to do on the show. Okay, sorry about that. I'm going to ask for Lady D Keys, and then I'm going to do LRGA and then Golden, okay? And I want to thank you to Tiff for coming up. I know you dropped down. I didn't get a chance to say thank you, but thank you for coming up. But right now we're going to do Lady D Keys. I'm going to give you, honey, I'll give you 3 minutes to share your thoughts on all this.
Oh, hey, hi, how are you?
I'm great. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Melody, she looked good. She came in, did what she was supposed to do, when she was supposed to do it. And that's what we do. When we want to throw something in somebody's face and say, this is what you're missing, that's what we do. We put on the best dress that we got in our closet, make sure the hair is right, we smelling good and looking good, walk on out there, make sure he see you, and then go sit down somewhere and mind your business. And that's exactly what she did. That's what she was supposed to do. She did her job.
Okay.
And then Ken, and poor Ken. I like me some Ken. Trish, she, some people, Some people don't deserve a man. And she seems like she's one of them ones that don't deserve the man that she got. It's like, girl, you see that the man is trying with you, and you got kids that are not his, and he's taking care of your kids and you, baby. You that's a man you would want to keep. But if you don't know how to keep them, then you're gonna lose them. Point blank in the period.
Mm-hmm.
And if Melody leaves the show because of something Kimmy said, child, that show is already going down the tubes. So it'll be done if she leaves that. If she leaves her show, it's gonna be done. But I wouldn't want her to. Like you said, she is stronger than whatever Kimmy is gonna say. Because Kimmy ain't nobody. She's just somebody that she worked with. Used to be friends with, work with, whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, this is Melody. She ain't going nowhere. Hopefully she don't go nowhere. If she do, say goodbye to the show.
Okay. All right, girl. I appreciate you for sharing your opinion on the episode and Miss Melody. And I'm going to go to LRGA Curves. What is up, girl? How are you?
Hey, I'm Excelente. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you.
Hi. So, okay, two things. I was coming up initially because I overheard, I was, going through the YouTube streets and saw and heard the people talking about Melody should leave her show. So I clicked the StreamYard because it's the equivalent in my mind of, let's say I build a nice, beautiful mansion, and then I invite some people to come be long-term visitors in my beautiful mansion, and then they end up ruining the walls, messing up the floors, running amok, having parties all the time, always talking trash about me in my house, over loud so I can hear, but it's my house that I invited them into where they are acting like buffoons. And then one of them might cuss me out one day and be like, oh, and I leave to cool down because I don't want to catch a case. And so then other people are like, yeah, she needs to leave. She needs to leave. But the bottom line is, I built this house. I invited you into my house and I let you come in and you run amok, and you need to be thanking me before I kick you out of my house that I built. What's the point in me leaving the structure that I built so that you can have a roof over your head? No, 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 not today, Neck. Not today, Satan. You go build your own house if you have the mental fortitude. You go build your own house if you have the business acumen. You go build your own house if you have a builder's contract. But me and my house, I will continue to reside here, and you go find your own abode. That's where I am with this stuff. I'm not sure why all the people in America are talking about this black lady needs to leave a house that she built just because riffraff got in and is not leaving and is trying to gaslight everybody like, oh, I built this house. Oh, I built this house. Oh, you don't even have the blueprint. You don't even have the plans. So what did you really build except for my coattails? And I'm not even a millimeter. I'm just looking at this logically like a woman who builds stuff in America for the next to come around and act like they want to try to take it away. You go get your own stuff. Okay? Leave my stuff alone. If you're not happy with the way I'm acting in my house, go to your house. If you're not happy with where I'm sitting at in my house, go to your house. If you're not happy with what scenes I'm walking out of, go to your house, go to your house, go to your house. But first you have to build it. And that's the problem with the rest of the cast. They haven't built nothing. All they do is write coattails. They haven't built nothing from scratch. They look at Melody to build something and they sit around scribbling notes and then plaster their name on something that Melody just did like they did it first. Please, the gas has left my house. I'm not in the gaslight zone. In the fresh air zone. And in the fresh air zone, this is reality. And in reality, name a person in America who's going to leave their house for the next riffraff to come in. Please.
Okay, girl. You didn't got that off your chest, child, and I appreciate it. Okay, we're getting the hand clap emojis in here. You better preach, child. Thank you for coming up and sharing your opinion.
You're welcome. And I'm really nice and I'm very silver lining, but I have a lot of passion.
Okay, listen, nothing wrong with passion. I love it. I love it. So thank you.
Peace.
I appreciate that. We are going to speak to Miss Golden. I'm going to give you 3 minutes as well. DH Sobers, I see you back here, but I need you to put your mute button on in order for me to bring you up, okay? So put your mute button on and I'll bring you up. But we're going to go to Miss Golden next. Thank you so much. Miss L. Oh, she jumped down. I think it was LGRA curves, but go ahead. Go ahead, girl.
Child, I just had to come back from that faint. If I could snap my fingers loud, I'm giving all snaps, snaps, snaps. If that sister did clock that, like the kids say, clock that, clock that, clock, come through, sister. I don't, she said everything. She said everything. Oh my God, I have nothing. Proud sister, said everything I was thinking, but better. The only thing I'm gonna say, Diana, I don't even need 3 minutes. This is Mel's house. She built it. I'm with her. I am proud to see the evolution of Melody. We have seen season 1. We have seen her go through all the fakeness with these people. She has decided how through these seasons she's going to rise above it, rise through it, whether or not it was, I ain't filming with these hoes, to where they're just co-workers, to where y'all need to keep me completely separate from that hoe over there, because Martell is a thought. He's the king of the thoughts, to where, okay, Nail, I'm going to support y'all. Y'all have been my friend, but just make sure that I'm not at the table with him, that we're not sitting by each other. Y'all respect the paperwork that the DA gave me. This is what we doing. So she don't need to go nowhere. And as long as she say she gonna ride the show till the wheels fall off, then I'm gonna ride it with her. And that's what it is. We watch this shit for entertainment. And that's what it is. We watch the evolution of Melody Holt. I'm happy to see the evolution of Melody Rogers. That's what it is. And those co-workers, they don't have nothing else but the show.
Okay.
So Mel be there till she not.
Okay.
I'm with her.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Miss Golden. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then I'm
Bye,
going to
y'all.
bye. I'm gonna let DH Sobers. Look, I'm too close to the camera. I'm gonna let DH Sobers finish us out with the panel.
Hello.
But I need you to, whatever background noise you have going on, you got to turn that off.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm driving in my car. So can
Oh,
let me connect my Bluetooth? Can you put me down and then I'm not put me down, but let someone else go while I connect my Bluetooth.
okay. Go ahead and connect your
Okay.
Bluetooth. I'll talk a little bit. Okay,
Thank you.
no problem. Okay, guys. So I see a lot of people have some strong opinions. Listen, there has been a lot of stuff happening, right? We're not going to pretend. Let me just say this out loud. We're not going to pretend like the fans haven't stumped the yard and asked for certain things, demands, and this has been going on since I want to say season 3. Petitions, letters, threats to take things down. Yes, Diana, but Carlos King has wrung Melody dry. There is never a storyline other than Mel. Mel actually did not lead this season. This is the first, or maybe the second season that we haven't really saw her take the lead. Melody was not filming with Martell in season 8 because she did not film with Martell. We didn't get the typical storyline that we would with the Martell Melody storyline. Melody's storyline in season 8 was about the friendships with the rest of the cast, right? She brought in some friends from outside. Who was that? Her friend Lauren, her friend Shanita. They took the trip. We also got Sunny. Sunny and Melody, they don't seem like real friends. Like we don't have them doing any sister girl conversations. We didn't see that in season 8, and we didn't see it in season 9. Sunny, I think only filmed twice. It was in 2 episodes. Melody appeared to have been standing alone. The closest person that she had filming with her this season was Kimmy. She was one. And it was actually nice to see her and Tisha on screen. When she went to visit Marceau, it was nice when she was talking to Tisha in St. Thomas. That was nice. Even the little take up she did for Destiny, when her and Destiny hugged, it seemed like it was a more ease for us as the fans, because people didn't have to carry that burden. I'm gonna let you talk. Are you ready, DA Sobers? And I'll finish up. Nope, she's not ready. Okay.
No, I'm ready. I'm sorry. Is that
Oh,
better?
no, you can go now, and I'll finish up.
Okay. I apologize for that. Thank you for being patient with me.
No problem.
Um, I just wanted to highlight a few things, and I do feel like you, that Melody is a lot stronger than I think sometimes the fans give her credit for. However, people always say to check on your strong friends. It's as if because they think she has this fan base and she was so strong to go up against Martell that she could just take any abuse that they give her. And she should take it with a smile because she is the star of the show. And, it's a little cringy to hear that or to have that expectation, of another woman. And I would have to say that I do think it's a Carlos thing and a production thing, because when Martell supposedly got arrested the first day of filming, we kind of know that that was cap. He said he didn't know. Then he interviews with Tasha K and says, I want Carlos King and the network to choose me. Those words came out of his mouth. I want them to be on my side. I want them to choose me. The very first episode, Tisha, was it a test message? Stormy's husband, she did that to be vindictive. Kimmy, well, I was giving her more credit than that when she found out what happened. So everybody started off the season with making it seem as if Melody was wrong for having Martell arrested. Every single cast member, even Nell Fletcher. Okay, so you know when the fans are like, what's going on with Carlos in production, and then we find out that they all knew about it, and that not only did they know about a video with Mel, they knew about a video with Coleslaw. So it's confusing how people act as if all of that did not happen, and we just want to focus on Melanie trying to make it a show. Well, she sat with Kimmy, and she sat with Tisha, and all these things, and her and Tisha had some light jabs, to each other throughout the season, and that was fine. Tisha seems like she can handle it like a big girl now, but the only reason why Martell is getting any ire right now is simply because he turned against Tisha. Carlos never. Oh, excuse me. And I also forgot about the messy Mondays. He was eviscerating Melody. He had Dr. Heavenly eviscerate her
Okay.
every Monday, and it was the weirdest thing. It was the weirdest thing. So I would hate to see her leave. Like, it is her baby. She should stand strong. But when you're against all these people and they feel like you're such a horrible person, Destiny thinks she's such a horrible person. So why is she mad that she doesn't come and talk to you? It doesn't make sense. That's it. I'm sorry. That's all.
Okay. I appreciate you for coming up and sharing.
Thank
Okay.
you.
I know for a fact. I don't know if you. I don't. I know my commentary is probably way off based on what you just said, because I see a lot of people said that they don't see the same thing that I see, and that's okay, because we're going to have different perspectives. That's okay. Lady D Keys, I'm gonna drop you down. Okay. Thank you for coming
Okay.
up.
You're welcome, huh?
Okay. So this is what I think, just to finish my thoughts on all of this. Her actual season in season 8 was about the friends, right? A lot of people, and I tried to have this conversation before about Martell and Melody's relationship. What we know of Melody and Martell's relationship now is way different from what we knew when they first came on screen, right? All of the abuse talk and all of that stuff. At least we thought it was. It was playing out in front of our face. We just did not see it that way until after the fact. Some people may have seen it, but we didn't see it that way until after the fact. But Melody and Martell had a love hard, fight hard relationship. Some people may agree with me. I think a lot of people probably agree with me. A love hard, fight hard relationship. Martell and Melody had a long battle with trying to figure out how to stay together because Martell was out cheating. They brought the storyline to the show, and we got the cute version of a part of their life that was really hard until Melody decided to leave that relationship. And then after she left it, she still tried to hold Martell up. I think most people would agree with that. Melody decided to turn everything off on Martell at the beginning of season 8. And now she wants everybody else to turn it off, which there's no problem with that. But people got to get there the same way she got there. Do you understand what I'm saying? Sometimes we expect things to just happen automatically, and it doesn't. It just doesn't happen like that. These people weren't friends for years. They came on the show kind of broken, and everybody kept working with Martell the way Melody was working with Martell. And now Melody has said, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. And now she wants everybody else not to do it. And the audience want everybody else not to do it. But they gotta get there on their own. Stop blaming the fans. I am speaking to the fans because you are asking me questions. The fans come over to me and ask me these questions, so I'm sharing it. If this doesn't fit whatever you have going on, you don't have to stay. It's totally okay. But it is a step-by-step process. People don't just turn on and off like robots or light switches. That's not how it works. Now people are saying she's not making them do anything. You are literally asking her, you're literally saying that Tisha, Marceau, Kimmy, Maurice, all of them should not because they are not, because she is not. It does not work in your life. It doesn't work in anyone else's life either. That's just not how it happens. It doesn't. And I know that sometimes we see things on TV and we expect all this shit to just boom, it's done. It doesn't happen like that ever. In anyone's life does that happen. People really have to break up from people, and then other people will do the same. Martell wants everyone to think that him and Melody are cool in every place except for this one. And then we hear people saying certain shit. Like I think Stormy in season 8 said, I see Melody and Martell all the time and they seem cool. So I don't know what to think. Let them tell their story the way they're going to tell it. But whether Melody is on the show or Martell is on the show or not, Melody and Martell's relationship is not worked through, and it's going to continue until, you know, the judge says X, Y, and Z. That's just how it works. If you have a friendship as a grown people, because I set my settings for people who are 18 and up. So for grown people, I get to see everybody's information in the back. I know the ages of those who follow me. You have married friends. Married friends, they can have people in those friendships who don't get along, who fight. Melody and Martell was in a relationship where we can assume that Martell was hell on wheels. He was a horrible person. A lot of people say, right? But Melody was his protector. Melody was his protector. And we know this. We saw it. Okay? So with all the nasty shit that man said to her on that TV show, the reason why I divorced you or had an affair on you is because you weren't, you know, sucking my hook in a curve. I'm gonna take the kids from you. All of those things, she still have to uncouple from him. For as much as everybody was telling her, fans, I don't like it when Melody do this and the other. She was still protecting him somewhat. I think we can all agree with that. She was still helping him somewhat, filming with him at all, helping him keep the lights on, putting food in his refrigerator. To this day, right? Those are things that probably happen. Those are true things too. And she does not owe us all of that. She doesn't owe telling us this shit because she may not even have the language for it when she's doing it. Sometimes you're doing stuff and you don't even know why. The only people who can tell you not to do it is like your mama, people that's on the inside that's close. Girl, will you stop doing that for him? It's a process. Breaking up is a process. And for whatever reason, we don't like the reality of that, but it's a fact. Just like now, her filming in the same space with Martell, the amount of people who called me out of my name and told me I was lying. And it turned out to be all true. I'm not saying that they are good in real life. I'm telling y'all that this is their real life. I'm saying that this is their real life and that if Melody or Martell leave the show, they will still have that same reality for themselves. Because that is who Martell is. Some of the shit that we see will probably continue because that is where they are in trying to get to the other side of this divorce. Didn't he say some shit on the show like, it'll probably be another 5 years before I'm over Melody or something like that? He said that on the show, but we pretend like it doesn't happen. I know people right now who's not over their divorce and they've been, divorced for what? 5, 6 years, and they still aren't over it. That's shit that happens in real life. I think that we are looking for camera time, though. We're looking for it to happen in the camera time part. I get that she's not doing it right now, or that she may still be trying to move beyond Martell right now. I get that. I do. That's not the point I'm making. My point was she made a break when it came to filming with him in season 8. That's the first time she said it. With everything that came out, even in season 7, after the audio came out, with Ariane talking about the tape and whatever, Melody still went to film. And I'm not saying this to blame her because I'm not blaming her for anything. I think her choice is her choice and she knows what's right for her. That's what I will say. But she still went to Houston. She still filmed. She asked for certain things. I need a house outside of Martell, or I need a room with a lock on it. She did what she needed to do. But asking people to make moves that the person who it's actually happening to hasn't gotten to yet does not help her. You're going to end up hearing what? We're not on the same narrative of their marriage. It just happens to be what is literally playing out in their lives. This is still her life. This is still her life. You're tired of it. And it's okay for you to say you're tired of it, but it's still her life. She is still in court with this man right now. Court date set for May right now. He has filed these crazy things against her right now. It's still happening. It's still happening. They have 4 children together. Absolutely true. This is the first season, though, in this 9th season, that they made it about her and her friendships more than her and Martell. The scenes that we got with her and Trisha didn't even have to happen. Melody could have said, I don't fuck with Trisha. I don't even want to film with Trisha. And it would have been totally fine. We as an audience wouldn't have missed it because I don't think that we expected Melody and Trisha to be friends anyway. However, her friendships with the core group is something that people still kind of look for. Her friendship with Marceau, or let's not call it friendship because I know it pisses people off because for a full year, y'all were arguing about that. But when we found out outside of the show by Melody's own mouth that she was giving Tisha advice about something that Tisha was, that Tisha needed. And she was saying things like, me and Tisha and Marceau had filmed a great scene together. And that they all, Tisha, Kimmy, and her were wishing each other happy Mother's Day. And her and Tisha were sharing videos about the kids when they were little. And they were all, calling each other auntie and uncle and stuff like that. Those are inside moments that I believe that she gives to us to help us move along so that they can move along in the storylines on the show. Got it. We don't have to look for the friendship, but those are the things, because she never had to say any of that shit, ever. She never had to tell us that. I think they tell it in order to say, this is where we are. This is where we are. We are cordial. Those are her words. We can film and be cordial and not have to fight each other to the death every single time. She said Tisha called her. She said Tisha asked her for advice. She said that she gave it to Tisha. She said it was something really important. That's a big deal in their friendship, because we knew where they were. There's still going to be people that don't like Tisha. There's still going to be people that don't like Melody. But I think that those little nuggets are helpful to us. At least to me as a blogger, because when I tell the story, I like those moments. I like to be able to say, well, this isn't phony to me, right? This means that they've talked to each other outside of the show. When Mel says, everybody on the cast has my phone number, I think that's a big moment. When Kimmy sat down with Mel and said, you and I made a promise to each other that we weren't going to let things fester, that we were going to, really try to talk and work things out so that we can continue in filming and doing our journey. I think that was real. Melody did the same thing when she went to Tisha and Marceau and said, you and I said we weren't going to let things fester. Keeping with our promise to each other, this is what I'm going to do. That's a real moment. And sometimes we don't, I won't even say we, my channel does. I'm going to talk about what I see. When it changes, I'll say it changed, but I can't do it the other way, because when I hang up my computer, I gotta breathe, child. Some of this stuff can seep into your soul and into your spirit, and I don't need that. So I don't do it that way. And that's fine when the cameras are rolling. That's fine. It doesn't, that's the only reason why we know them, is because cameras are rolling. That is the only reason why you know any of these people, is because a camera was rolling and you decided to turn your TV on. Destiny and Melody is an interesting relationship right now. And I'm going to be the first to say it. When I saw Destiny and Melody, when I saw Melody hug Destiny, when I saw Melody take up for Destiny against Sunny, I even though I don't think that Destiny and Melody will ever be friends like they were before, I knew that there was compassion there. Compassion. And that takes a lot. It takes a lot. There was a little empathy there. I mean, again, my perspective, me as a grown-ass woman who's been in relationships, since I was 16 years old, grown as hell now. If I had the warfare that I had with Destiny that we saw on TV, I'm on a reunion stage, and her implying that I had several relationships out of my marriage, her implying that I was, how did she put it? That she somehow tricked Martell's phone, or was She was the one when Melody was saying that her phone was bugged or her home was bugged. Destiny was suggesting that it was Melody who bugged Martell's phone or had some sort of reverse call on the phone. When Destiny's saying all of those things, when she shows up in a space, looks me in the face from across the table and say, I used to sit with you when you were crying and upset about your husband cheating. And now I think that you were, trying to teach her how to cheat respectfully. Don't mouth, I'm sorry, because that would make me see red. Knowing your own strength, I'm not hugging you, bitch. You and I are fucking boxing. We are going to have it out. There's going to be weave everywhere. Do you hear me? I mean, weave everywhere. She didn't do that. She hugged her. She hugged her and said, you all right, baby? And then after that, on her TikTok, she said, I went to Destiny's room every day and asked her if she was okay because she felt bad that Destiny was there and Sonny was there. And she knew that they had that going on. She said, I went and checked on her every morning. I asked her what she wanted for dinner every day. Those were her words. I was sitting there like, this isn't what I thought it was, then this is something else. And now that I had the chance to see her react to Trisha, I know for a fact it wasn't what I thought it was because she had no problem telling Trisha, I don't give a damn who you fucked, when you fucked, and blah, 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 blah. Beep, 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 beep. There were so many beeps in that conversation, I didn't know if it was coming or going. But at the end, she called her a whole bitch. Bitch, don't come for me like that. Destiny sitting right beside her. And y'all were accusing her of the exact same thing. So there's something wrong here. And listen, again, we are coming from different perspectives, but I have to, speak from my truth, no one else's. I can't do it even if I tried. I don't know what's going on. I can't do what everybody else does. We can make fun and make jokes and be like, sure, Destiny did it, but because I don't think Mel's stupid. She might say Destiny's stupid and that's why she don't mess with her, but it's hard to have someone that you gave money to, who you believe to be your friend, who sat at your table, who you wanted to protect from her ex-husband or whomever. There was a genuine relationship there that got broken up. The reasons we've gotten for why that friendship broken up is not true. Neither one of them have shared the truth about that. Do they have to? No, they don't. We have to be okay with some shit just being their business. But if you're putting them both in the same boat, her response to Destiny is much different than her response to Trisha. And Destiny would have hurt her the worst. Trisha, she don't give two fucks about. She doesn't know her. Anywho, I've been on here for a very long time, child. Thank you, Uppity, for being a millimeter and feeling comfortable here. I don't try to hurt anyone. I don't even really like to use the word millimeter because it's done. Diana Search. Thank you, Review Hour. I appreciate you. I hear what you're saying about the compassion and all of that, but she is human first. She is human first. And the human response would have been blankety blank, don't make me blankety boop boop. Where I'm not asking you what you want for dinner. I'm just not. I'm not asking you what you want for dinner. I don't give a damn what Sonny is doing or how you feel about Sonny, knowing everything else. Sometimes we have to look at the shit correctly from a perspective. And if she knows what Destiny went through, then we have to pay attention to that as well, right? Because there's some shit that Destiny's saying. You're saying that she knows what Destiny went through. There's a reason. So we can watch it or not. But these relationships are no different than relationships in real life. And a lot of y'all still go to work every day wanting to, put your hands around somebody's neck, and you still show up. You still show up. You still get your bills paid. All right, that's it, y'all. Ciao. This was fun. This was kind of fun. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, we learned something new, because that's all YouTube is, child. It's us giving our opinions and commentary. I don't hate anybody on the show, not one single person, nobody. I think that these people are giving a part of themselves that most of us would, we would cower. We would bury ourselves alive. You know what I'm saying? In order not to share some of the shit that they share on this TV show. So I appreciate the fact that they have done this. I don't think they get enough thank yous, but all of them, thank you, because we talk about them down to their draws. Do you hear me? And again, a lot of us would just pass out. We would pass away where we're standing if someone was talking about us the way we talk about them. But that's it. That's it, you guys. I appreciate everybody in the chat. I appreciate all of my moderators. Thank you so much for sticking it out with me. Also, thank you to everyone who blessed the channel. I appreciate y'all too, and everyone who came over to hang out with me today. I will see you all on the next one. Follow me on all my platforms at DYANAROZAY. Bye-bye.